This doesn't have you in the frame, though. You know that, right? I'm trying to, but
That's fine.
you might not be in it.
All right, I got you. And well, like I said, I got you both right here. So
Okay. Wait, I didn't log
Perfect.
into.
because I'm just recording it.
You
It's
just
gonna
you
go
just
live there,
recording it.
Okay, then I'll just share this to my page then. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, welcome. We are back.
I got
As you
mine
can
down.
see, our wonderful host, the one and only nurse practitioner, V, has her damn bell again.
Ring
I
the
don't know
alarm.
how she manages to find this thing, but she's got it.
Yes.
It's me. It's your boy, the doctor.
BG.
Trinity DDS. Hit me up on Instagram. This is Detroit-ish.
We
What?
got a new name.
How do we wait? Okay, how do we have a new name and I don't even know about it?
Because somebody already has that name.
Okay, so somebody has Detroit-ish. So what is our new name?
Text you.
See, you. So this is what happens
That ain't my
when you
fault.
got people who work together. Well, they don't necessarily work together. We don't
Two
work
bosses
together.
trying to collaborate. That's what happens with doctors.
You got two bosses, but one boss communicates
Why
with the other
is
one. But
your
I'm
mic
I'm seeing
cocked?
patients all day. So
Oh.
how am I able?
Oh,
I mean, I'm just saying.
Shots
I couldn't
fired.
respond. Shots fired. Bang bang. Yes, shots were fired.
okay.
What you want to do? What you want to do?
I see.
Okay, but look,
I
I'm
too-
not downplaying the fact that
Oh,
she is
wow.
the most wonderful nurse practitioner in the city of Detroit. But at the
Yes.
end of the day, what I am saying is
What are you saying?
she must have had way more downtime because if I go scroll through my phone for today,
Oh.
I had so many text messages, but I could only answer so many in between the patients that I was seeing. So I don't know what
That's the
I was
truth.
supposed to do.
True.
Anyway, what's happening to everybody that's logging in on Facebook, on Nurse Practitioners page?
It's the Real Nurses
The
of
Real
Detroit.
Nurse of Detroit.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually have to
With the
get
Real
some,
Dentist of Detroit. Sorry, I'm being extra
Ain't
right now.
no real dentist of Detroit.
I'm the only real dentist of Detroit.
What's your name, is? What's your
BG.
name is?
My
BG.
name is shout, you know what I'm saying? They're the ATL boy right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how we get down, you know? Anyway, let me stop.
I
My
don't
country
think
accent will kick off
You
every
ain't
once
no
in a while.
country. You from the country?
Down South Georgia boy.
Oh.
ATL. May redder wears more better. Anyway,
Oh, they got money down there.
we got money down there. Yeah, we do.
Okay. Southern hospitality.
Southern hospitality. What's happening? 504 Hurricane. I done see you came up on the spot on
All
my
right.
Instagram. Holla at you. Ain't talked to you for a minute. What's good?
We're supposed to be talking about opioids.
Yes, we are supposed to be talking about opioids today, but unfortunately, what happened with our guests?
We have no friends.
We don't have any friends, unfortunately.
It's just
But
us.
No,
Thank you.
unfortunately, some
Thank
hard.
you guys for tuning in, though, because
Absolutely, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
I'm kind of
taking that.
calm right now.
You are mad calm right now, which is
I'm going to
interesting.
turn up
Please.
in the second hour because
In
I
the
got a
second hour.
lot. Girl, I got a lot. Y'all
Who
go get you
who
a
you
shot.
calling girl?
Oh,
You-
huh? I'm talking about girls over here
Okay,
on Facebook.
you might want to address that in that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
What's up,
talk to your
Edward?
girls.
I gotta say, listen, YouTube, Edward on Facebook. We are interactive. We are live. You guys can call us. Just not right now. After 9 o'clock, we will take calls. We had a lot
Or
of
text.
technical difficulties today.
Yeah, this
We're
was
supposed to be in a beautiful
in the-
hotel.
in the
I ain't
hotel.
shouting them out.
Okay, so we ain't gonna shout them out. We're supposed to be in a hotel atmosphere doing this podcast, but
Because I'm
however,
mad right now.
their scheduling coordinators were all jacked up. They booked us for a certain time, but then when we get there, well, actually, I couldn't get there at the time. Our normal show is from 8 to 10.
Yes.
They booked us from 5 to 7. So
Yes.
you got two working professionals that know doggone well we can't get there at 5, but I was like, okay, whatever. But long
What's
story
up?
short,
What's
the,
up?
the regular spot, this
We
spot
here.
has
We're doing this for
definitely-
y'all, though. Because we
Yes,
have
yes.
to educate y'all.
Yes, we have to
We
educate
want to be
y'all.
here for y'all. We committed to this. Ain't nobody getting
So-
paid for this either.
No, we ain't getting paid for it, but you know what? It's for the people. It's
For
for you
y'all.
all, for who all, may be informed or uninformed.
And we keeping it real.
Exactly.
We have a lot of dental. He's not even just dental.
Correct.
It's a step above dental. It's prosthodontist.
Prosthodontist, yes.
Not about your prostate, people. Don't think
You know what? I don't even really know. I really don't even know where to go with that.
It's the other end.
What we're going to talk about today. We're supposed we had other guests to come on here, and we were talking about the opioid crisis because that's something that a lot of people, when you think about it, you deal with it. It's real. It's real out there.
Somebody knows somebody that died from opioid overdoses,
or somebody who likes to take
opioids.
Norco and opioids on a regular basis,
and Roxy's and Doxy's and all
pain.
of that. We know all that. Listen. I'm just learning. We was talking about marijuana today. My friend,
word?
yes, Dr. Kiana.
Okay.
She's in my story. Go to my story. You'll see her. She'll be on our next show. We're going to redo this whole opioid thing.
What was y'all talking about in terms
marijuana?
of what about marijuana?
They need more research. There's a lot.
Absolutely.
The research needs to be done regarding you drinking and taking your other meds plus marijuana. The research, we know about the sativias, the uppers. We know about the downers. We know about all them different strands. There's apps.
The uppers.
Yeah. Don't act like you ain't never got contact before.
I ain't talking about I ain't never got contact before.
You ain't got no friends that smoke weed.
If you're going to speak intelligently about marijuana, you must know the two differences, the sativas and the indicas.
Oh.
You have one that's more uplifting and you have another one that's more
How
relaxing.
you know?
Because I've done plenty of my own research.
Your own.
I mean, first of all, I got patients that come in that are high as 5 Georgia pines because they don't, I still, I understand dental phobia is real. It is something that you got to deal with, but
I'm scared. I'm still scared. Even though you were great. He does this shaking thing, y'all. I mean, it's a big ass needle. I'm not going to lie.
The needle is not that. The needle is not big.
I
Stop.
promise you.
Stop.
It's this big.
Stop. I'm ringing the bell. As much as I hate this damn thing, I'm ringing the bell because honestly, this is for everybody out there who's been to the dentist. Okay, now it sounds large, but the actual business end of a dental needle is roughly about this big.
That's how long it is?
That's how long it is. It only looks so large because you've got the transport, you have the carpio of anesthetic, which is about this tall. That fits into the syringe itself. Then you got to hold on to the whole thing, so it looks like you're carrying this huge apparatus, but the business end is only about this big.
That's a big-ass word.
Look, I'm a big dude. You know what I'm saying? My vocabulary is huge. I told y'all last time. I might be short in height, but I got big feet.
How tall are you, doctor?
I am 5 feet 7 inches, which is the average height of a Morehouse man.
You are not. Are you
Shout
serious?
out to the Morehouse brothers.
Are all Morehouse men are... Wait.
No, I said the average, which means you have shorter and you have taller.
So wait,
the average.
The average is 5'7"?
Yeah, just about. I guess. Anyway, can
But
we
are
get
they
back?
smart?
Can we
Wait,
get back to the
what they
opioid
looking
stuff?
like though? Like all the men from Morehouse are
Hey.
fine as hell, and they smart.
All I'm gonna say is this: when it comes to Morehouse,
Well,
you can
he
tell.
got
You can
deep
tell.
voice.
Wait. I see Dr. Skylark. What's happening, bro? It's good to see you.
Shout out to Dr.
Anyway, yeah. When it comes to Morehouse man, you can tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much.
What? What that mean? Wait a minute. What?
You can tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him
So you're
much.
trying to say y'all smart?
Hell yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I will say this. I'll give y'all
Most-
y'all props.
there are
the Morehouse men that I've met in Michigan are all doctors.
Exactly.
And whether it's in psychiatry, psychology, medical, dental, they are all doctors. All of them.
But outside of that, Morehouse is one of the most premier, outstanding, HBCUs for black men.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. I got a bone to pick.
What's the bone? What's the bone you got to pick with
Because
Morehouse?
why would Oprah? I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna write her a letter. Matter of fact. Because old boy, whatever his name is, came in there and did a speech,
Robert
and then
Smith.
okay, good.
Don't just say "oh boy" because
I don't know
at
his
first I'm
name.
just saying.
The
man is a billionaire, an African American
Beautiful.
billionaire at that.
No, that's a beautiful thing. I give him his props, and he did a great, wonderful thing, and he paid for everybody. So why would Oprah need to go back and pay for more men? What about who's your sister school?
Our actual sister school?
The girl, what's the
Spelman College is
Spelman.
next door, but our actual
Okay.
sister school is Bennett College.
I don't care nothing about that. I'm talking about Spelman. So why
My bad.
couldn't Oprah or oh boy, whatever his Robert who? What's his name?
Robert Smith.
Him over there.
Him
Why
over
he
there.
couldn't?
Wow.
Y'all done took care of the boys. What about the girls? Why y'all not coming to the girls? Spelman. Why ain't Spelman getting no monies?
Really?
Seriously.
Spelman get. I mean, now not.
Pay their student loans just like you paid the boys. It's our
I'm not,
turn.
I don't look. I don't
We
disagree.
got black women. Let me just break some stuff. I'm sorry to interrupt you, doctor.
Let
me tell you
I'm
something.
just saying.
The problem is this. If you're going to do it, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you're going to pay for their student loans, black women are the most educated. And ain't nobody paying our student loans. We are in debt because we have a lot of education.
I don't disagree.
And why we can't get our student loans paid off?
I mean, you might want to call on some of the
I
female
hate
alumni.
Sally Mae. I can't stand Sally Mae.
Sally Mae and an alumna of Spelman College.
No, but I don't. Okay, so Robert Smith, was he alumni? Tell us. I don't know
if
nothing
I
about
remember
him.
correctly, I believe he was, but I could be wrong. I don't know 100%. But you know, a lot of these people that are asked to speak,
It was a tax write-off, low key though.
I mean, regardless of what it was,
saying.
you're asked to be a commencement speaker, and you know you're trying to make an impact in the world, and you know that most African American males are either in jail or definitely underrepresented in all areas of the workforce, especially upper management or whatever. So giving them a leg up, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, a leg up is that just makes things much easier. Not easier, but that's awesome. But I mean, I can't speak for somebody who, if they weren't invited to speak at Spelman, if they weren't ever invited to do anything or engage at Spelman, I don't know what goes on there.
Shout out to Spelman, and if you went to Spelman, somebody
all my Spelman sisters, my
make
Spelmanites.
a comment and tell me who were some of your commencement speakers.
I mean, shoot, you got Danny Glover, but I mean, you got
At Spelman?
prior to his transgressions, Bill Cosby and his wife, they donated millions of dollars to. They had a building
Spelman.
named after them. Yeah.
No, did they? I don't care about you donating money to the college. Donate the monies to my student loans. Can I get an
But I'm saying a lot of the money that's donated though goes to scholarships
not
and stuff like that.
loans.
So I don't know.
That don't have nothing to do with student loans.
It doesn't have anything to do with student loans, but this was the first time anybody has ever done anything like this.
That's huge.
So I guarantee you, down the road, I'm sure there are going to be many more commencement ceremonies where that happens.
Oprah did it too. Oprah did it. She followed right after I don't even know if there's been another graduating class yet.
At Morehouse? I don't know. I don't think so.
Since
Not
he
yet.
did that?
No.
So she just donated some money too. She
Okay.
followed suit. It was like, hey, I got the next class. Okay. And it was wonderful because he actually challenged everybody. Hey,
I mean,
all my peoples, come through, pay some student loans. Beautiful. Do you know how much money I got in student loans?
I think that how much you got? How much I got? Look, I got a student loan that's about I got student loans at about the size of a good
what kind of house?
6-bedroom.
Where?
5-bathroom.
What city though?
I mean, since we in the D, you gonna be in Bloomfield Hills or Ann Arbor.
I got a student loan budget right now.
A student loan budget.
I mean, not budget. My bill right now, you could cash out on a nice home in Warren.
Hey.
12 Mile. What?
12
on the
mile.
east side? Why is he
On the
looking
east
like
side.
Why are you trying to look like that? I went to
So you owe what? $13, $14 on your
Shout out to Warren because we just had that's not funny.
I'm sorry.
That's
y'all.
not funny.
I'm sorry.
That ain't funny.
It is funny. It's funny to me. It might not be funny to you, but that was funny to me.
6 figures.
What's up, Noop?
6 figures.
6 figure. Yeah, man, you got 6 figure.
And I'm trying to
loans.
go back to school,
But
and I'm like, should I?
That's
go?
that's the craziest thing. I mean, a lot of people, you don't think about it, but when you get up into higher education, like most dental students, gosh.
That's
nowadays,
why I
like when I came out,
be with a doctor because he'll be in debt for he gonna make money, but that money gonna go to that student loan for a good 10 years.
not necessarily.
Why not?
It depends on how savvy you are with how many loans you take out and what you do. But at the end of the day, your student, my student, when I came out of dental school, my student loan balance was I think $180,000.
And that you were a
And-
full dentist?
Yeah, and
Okay.
and most most of the time you're starting off, you're
100
starting
and what?
salary
Wait,
around
wait.
180.
Whoa, whoa. Pause. What?
What do you mean what?
180?
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, this is what
I'm not gonna complain no more.
exactly. So I mean, but nowadays
I don't think they
the
gonna give me
average
no more
dental
money.
student is coming out of debt 350, 400,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because
But that's if you go.
any dentist or dental students out there, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna live by this. Any student in general ought to live by this. When I was in dental school, man came by and told us. He said, if you live like a dentist as a student, you'll live like a student as a dentist.
Oh, wait.
I didn't quite understand what that meant until once you get out. If you balling out of control, taking student loans, going to buy and going on exotic trips and everything, guess what? You got to pay that stuff back.
Who does that at school?
You would be amazed. Students out here now talking about they living their best life and all this other
In
foolishness.
school?
Heck yeah. They traveling all over the place. Oh, I'm going to Europe. I'm going here. I'm going to. Now, I'm not saying that people don't save their money to do those things, because there are people that are savvy enough to do that, and that's awesome. I'm not knocking anybody for doing that, but if you living off student loans,
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do
I
that.
had mommy and daddy to pay for my school.
Yeah. I wish we all did. That's why we need the Robert Smiths of the world.
No, but that's amazing because
But,
when
I
I was
mean-
in high school, my counselor told me, like, hey, would you rather not go to school, or would you rather have the money and make the money and more money to come and just be
Yeah.
able to pay it back? And I was like, you're right. I need to go right now, and I'm not about to worry about it.
Yeah, you gotta be able to pay it back. But
don't
I
want
think
to, though.
undergrad, like coming out of undergrad,
I don't want to.
you're gonna have, you got some people that go to these prestigious schools and are, $150,000 in debt, and that's just with an undergraduate bachelor's degree.
Okay, first of all,
So unless you doing something major, it's gonna be mad difficult for
stop
you to
going
get ahead
to these
in life.
private whatever schools. You can go to a JUCO for 2 years. If your grades aren't even up to par, you can still do that.
It's a prestigious thing. People
Who
want,
cares?
people want to,
Don't nobody care about where you went to undergrad.
Yes, they do.
Who?
Think of
Who?
every undergraduate. Look, and this is, because of the reputation that Morehouse College has. Oh, there goes your phone. Because of the reputation that Morehouse College has, it is nothing to, you see an individual with a Morehouse degree, that's going to be a solid student. That they're not even a student, but they're going to be a solid professional. They were trained properly, that they have their stuff together. They ain't going to give you no foolishness.
Because they went to Morehouse.
Exactly. But you think about the Yales, the Harvards, the Michigans,
You know what? Harvard has a high.
Can't nobody hear you.
Rate.
Can't nobody hear you.
No, I have to fix this. Go
You
ahead.
need to get back on the bike. Anyway, so at the end of the day, we need more billionaires out there to come on in and make sure that they're giving back to the community. Some of these students that need their student loans paid off. That's, I think that was the awesome, wonderful thing that Brother Smith did. And hopefully, maybe even more and more, not even billionaires, but millionaires or thousandaires can pool their money together and make that happen for some students, because you never know what kind of a blessing you can be to people and what that will mean in the long term, because, what they say, each one teach one, or pay it all forward. You never know what that could do to jumpstart somebody's career, and whoever, you never know whatever business or company you run. If you pay for somebody's student loans, you never know what that will do just in general in terms of what that could do for your business. You have a multitude of incoming hot talent that are grateful and thankful and will work their tails off because you gave them an opportunity, you gave them a leg up in the world. So as opposed to being foolish and having to rob Peter to pay Paul to make sure that their student loans get paid, now they can actually be contributing members of society and pay their taxes.
Robert Peter to pay Paul.
Shout out to Big Star joining us. What's up?
Okay, I don't know what time. 8:30. 8:30.
8:30. Is it 8:30
I don't know where you
already?
guys calling us where
Calling.
you guys watching us from. I know we had Violet from Nigeria was up in here. She's been over here every week. Shout out
Get
to
a check
Violet.
in. Oh yeah, get a check in from where you from. Where you from?
Where
Star,
y'all
where
at?
you checking in from? You
We
can either
have-
type in or whatever. You don't have to say specifically.
We had Edward. Edward, thank you for watching on Facebook, and he's checking in from Duval County,
Duval.
in Florida.
Ain't going back and forth with you.
Hey,
I'm living my best life.
okay.
Ain't going back and forth with you.
Duval.
I'm living my best life.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta
Ain't
go down
going
there.
back and forth with
They
you.
invited me for
All
on
right.
their podcast on Sunday night, so they have a
Stars
area
checking in from
studio.
Virginia, the VA. What it do,
Hey.
shorty?
So yeah, we're just casually talking about. I think we're gonna have to talk about some relationship stuff too.
Oh Lord, can we
because
not? Can we not talk about relationship stuff right now?
Okay.
Oh my goodness, we always talk about relationships, which is it's always good. It's always fun.
You
But,
learn
you know,
something, don't you?
You do learn. You do. You got. I mean, but you got to communicate. You got to go back and forth with people to different things because different different
We're going through
perspectives.
stuff.
Yeah,
And,
everybody's
like,
going through stuff.
Even though,
Transitions
like,
and
I'm
changes.
not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You're a doctor, but I've been married and divorced
Okay.
with kids.
I've never been married nor divorced. I've lived through a divorce.
Huh? Oh, with your parents.
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't. I came from a
Right.
2-parent household.
Right.
My parents are foreign. So this is all foreign to me.
But you know what? This is something that has, it's you just breaking stuff all over the place.
I'm sorry.
Come on, V.
I'm sorry.
I said this is something I think we kind of hit on it the last time when we were talking about valuing marriage and what it means. Back in the day, I think our parents' generation and the generation before them, you see these people that are married for 50, 60, 70 years sometimes.
That don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean anything, but it does mean something to a great deal because back in that time, or that for those generations, marriage meant, we all understand it's not, for people who've been married like myself. I want to be married. I plan on getting married soon.
Please take your time.
But it's also, but you have to go in it with an understanding of knowing, you're trying to pair yourself with somebody. You can't. Everything is not going to be roses each and every day.
No, it's not.
And there's going to be difficult times, and there's going to be good times, bad times, all those things. But our parents' generations and our grandparents' generations, not only did they understand those things, there was not an option of just because you ain't doing X, Y, and Z, I'm gone. Now
Yeah.
you did have granddaddy was
a Rolling Stone.
a Rolling Stone, or
Yes,
Papa
it
was a
was.
Rolling Stone. But at the
Papa's
end of the
grandpa
day,
too, right?
but I mean, if you look at that generation, you look at their marriages, you look at their careers, they're in it for the long haul. Like our parents, when they work somewhere, for 20, 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't jumping around like, I don't want to pick on the millennial generation, but the millennial generation is more like about an experience. They'll work somewhere for a couple of years and then go on, and I think they
feeling
bring
triggered.
that
I'm
they
not a
bring that type of mentality
even a
into a
millennial.
marriage too.
I'm not even a millennial, and I feel triggered. I need
You feel
experience.
triggered.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you want to have an experience, but at the end of the day, it's like you experience. Okay, I'm married. Oh, you know what? But even you can look at different relationships. Okay, this person ain't doing it for me, so I'm gonna hold on to them until I get to somebody else. And then you jump from relationship to relationship to relationship,
I
but you
just-
bring that in. But you bring that spirit into your marriage as well. So
I think
once
the
things aren't going your
issue-
way, you just want to jump ship because I can do that at my job. I can do that with everything else. Mom and dad, they stuck together, even though some, one parent may have cheated on the other, blah, 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 however it may have been.
No.
But at the end of the day,
Also, back
It's
in
just-
the day,
it's
you
just
talk about
crazy.
a time frame when there was no women's rights,
true indeed.
and kids and women were property. So even in this custody stuff,
Hey, Manu, how are you?
Hey,
Thank you for checking in.
hey,
Another
Manu.
VA person checking in.
VA in the house. But if you go through a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
the women didn't have any rights. So men are upset about child support and all this other stuff, but you have to realize that this just happened. Women couldn't even vote till the 50s. We ain't get that was in our parents' generation. They just learned how to vote.
I don't disagree.
So and they didn't work because they couldn't. They were brought up in a time
Black people
frame.
didn't even get civil rights until 65.
But that's what I'm trying to say. We can't be compared to the generation before us.
It's not being
because
compared, but it's
But we
just
are,
when
though.
you when you look
the
when
times
you
are
look
different.
at.
Women are independent completely, and
I
we're
don't
even
I don't
breadwinners.
disagree with that. I don't disagree with
So-
that in any way, shape, or form. But you have to look at just the differences in the generations.
But that's why it has everything to do with how a woman could not go out and earn 6 figures. That was we have a
But
glass
even
ceiling.
then, you still had women that were trailblazers back then.
very far in between.
Few and far between. But
Yes.
but I mean, I don't disagree with you in any way, shape, or form.
Mm.
What I'm saying is just the thought and the
No, they didn't-
the intention of
My
marriage
thing wa-
back in our parents and our grandparents'
But
generation
here's the thing:
is different
a woman
than
couldn't go to court
it
and
is now.
say, "I'm emotionally abused. I'm physically abused." They'd be like,
because
"What?"
now we done raised
Their
we have
property.
and nowadays our parents have raised a generation of punks.
We are punk.
Yes,
Us?
our
I
generation.
An 80s baby is not no punk.
I ain't say not all 80s, but I'm saying in our generation, that's when you started
You
seeing
talking about
like
the boys or the girls? Wait a
no,
minute.
I'm just saying you have to look in general.
No,
You can't.
I don't
can't.
see
you
no
can't.
punks and no 80s babies.
Oh my gosh, you can't put it in terms of, just an entire boys or girls. No, in our
boys are
entire
punks.
generation, when you go
The
when you
boys
go
are
to an
punks.
elementary school and you have these competitions and stuff. Back in the day, you got a first place ribbon, a second place ribbon, and a third place ribbon.
Okay, that's
if you didn't
different.
come in first, second, or third, you ain't getting no ribbon.
Okay.
Nowadays, everybody got to get a
Sportsmanship.
participation ribbon.
Yes.
Everybody got to
That's
get
true.
included. Everybody, and
But
so
that's that's not
but
our
that
parents.
creates
That's
that
our
creates a
generation.
particular
That's our generation that's raising these kids.
but that came out of our parents, the baby boomers.
no,
Yes.
it came out from us.
No,
did.
we continued it on.
No. When I was in school, my record's still on the wall. And when I came in first,
God. It
I
ain't-
got a first place.
It ain't about you. It's
I'm saying-
about the larger scale. It's not.
No,
it's
we didn't have participation. We didn't have sportsmanship stuff. We didn't have mercy rules. We beat them.
it
We beat you
came.
by 50
It came
points.
in our generation.
It started. I'll give you
It
that.
came through our generation.
I'll give you that.
Yes, and it's
But
perpetuated.
prior to the 2000, after 2000, I'll say 2003-ish.
Manu, you're silly. But it's good to see you. I wish I could see you physically too, but you can see me in my other element other than being.
Yeah. Team real tonight.
Yes,
This-
I'm being real. I'm being real tonight.
This is where we take the white coats off.
Yes.
It's called the
yes.
white. Oh,
I
our
might
new
have.
name.
What is our new name?
Let's talk about that.
Can we talk about this? Let me, for all my people that are listening right now, somehow we started off, and
As-
I'm gonna give homage to Veronica as the #1 nurse practitioner in the city of Detroit.
Oh, thank
So she started a radio podcast show called The Real Nurses of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
She inevitably invited the most handsome, ignorant
Who is
dentist.
that?
That would be me, Trinity
Oh.
DDS, all day long.
You're handsome
anyway,
and ignorant?
handsome and ignorant, all at the same time.
Did
anyway,
you shimmy up in my...
I did not. I didn't shimmy because you asked me to come in and talk about some dental stuff, and I was trying to be on my best behavior. But
Oh, you see, I got
but
braces
everybody that
for
was
ironing.
on your thing kept asking me. You kept asking me to shimmy.
What?
And I don't do that. I don't unless no, I don't shimmy on. I do shimmy on command. Let me stop.
Listen,
I
I
do.
never...
Anyway,
the funny part about it is
can
that's
we-
so cool that...
I'm ringing
No,
the
he
bell
didn't.
on that.
Ring
I'm
my
ringing the
damn
bell on you.
bell.
I'm ringing the bell.
The funny
So-
part is that every doctor that I've had on my show has been a frat boy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's
I
wonderful.
had a cute... The first one was a plastic surgeon, and he was acute.
Oh, okay.
And the second one was you, and you're a Kappa. I
Okay,
guess
inside to the day I die.
I
Find
need
a
an
new pie.
alpha. Shout out to the alphas, because I am so Miss Black and Gold. EMU.
Okay. Anyway, so
Oh, the hate.
we're getting back to the name of the show here. So what happened was I got invited on the show,
Can I talk
and I felt some kind of way because although I respect and understand it's the real nurses of Detroit. So I didn't have no problem with that, but I would always have to throw in my plug talking about it's the real dentist of Detroit too, because
Hater.
I'm not a nurse practitioner.
You're not.
I apologize. So I can't have that. So
Okay.
we started to, we went around since, I was asked to stay on the show and, continue, whatever.
He kept coming
So,
back, and I was like, "Why are
We
you
wanted
still
to
here?"
figure, we wanted a name.
Just
So since we're in the Metro Detroit area, we came up with Detroit-ish. But unbeknownst to me,
And me.
somebody already has that name.
Yeah.
So we can't use that
They
name
got
anymore.
T-shirts
But
and everything.
I was not I was not informed that somebody
might-
else had that name.
we
So
might
they
need to partner with them,
changed
'cause I like that name.
They changed. Veronica has changed the name of the show.
Yes.
And didn't tell anybody.
Our
So I
new
came on
name.
earlier and started talking about Detroitish, and of course that's not our name. And I'm like, oh well, what am I supposed to do now?
Our new name,
What is our new name, please?
White Coat Exam Room Podcast.
Okay, White
We're
Coat
gonna
Exam
keep it
Room.
simple.
Boom.
Because we both wear white coats,
Technically, I don't.
but you have one.
I have one, but I don't wear it because a lot of patients get white coat syndrome, which means their blood pressure
Ain't
goes
no
up.
such
They get
thing.
very anxious. Actually, it's real.
Actually, it's not.
Oh, whatever.
We need to do some research on that. Because let me tell you something. How do we know it's not just the environment, how they were treated, whether they had a cigarette, whether they're in a rush to come in the exam room? All of that's a factor. It's not my white coat because it's white. Would you like me to put on a black coat? How about a purple
They're
coat?
nervous. They're
How about
nervous. When they see
I
the
have flowers on
When
my
they see the
coat.
doctor come in,
No.
we start asking all these
Let me
type of
tell you
personal
something.
questions and stuff, and they knew they done smoked some weed
I don't
or
care nothing about
did
that.
something crazy before they
Nope.
came into the appointment,
Nope.
and they looking
Nope.
crazy, and you start asking questions, and they don't want to lie to you, but they want to lie to you
You
because
don't have to because I look at you and I already know. So don't lie to me because I'm a no. But here's
I
the
say
thing.
this: you
Be
can
honest.
you can lie to yourself, but don't lie to me.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I know how I'm treated just walking down the hallway. As a black female, we know
Right.
how we are responded to or reactions. You notice that. So there's one
Right.
way. If
Right.
we got our scrubs on today, right?
I do. This is one of the very few
black?
times that you'll ever see me wearing scrubs, especially out after work.
Really? Yeah, I have
don't
my
like
scrubs on today because today was horrible. But I can walk down the hallway and the same people. I can walk down one side of the hallway and come right back around without my white coat. And nobody will speak to me.
Okay.
I put on my white coat, go to the end of the hallway, put my white coat on, and come down that same hallway, walk past the same people. Hi, Doc. Hey, what's up? Hey, can I ask you a question?
Hence why I don't wear mine. No, I'm kidding.
But I get it. People take their white coats off when they go outside the hospital.
Absolutely, you should, because those things are
However,
filthy.
I told y'all how to get out of a ticket. Always have your white coat on the back of your seat. That's free. Next one you got to pay for. You will never get a speeding, parking. I won't say parking. You have to be there, be present with the police officer with the coat on the back of your seat. We're supposed to have a police officer here today. He couldn't make it. He had a death in the family. But if you have your white coat
Respect.
sitting on the back of your chair
Your
while you're
driver's seat.
driving,
Not chair, driver's seat.
driver's seat or
Passenger
passenger
seat,
seat,
yep.
I have never gotten a ticket with my coat hanging in the car.
I will
and
keep that in mind.
And I'm telling you, it will work. I don't care what they pull you over for. I don't care what you got in your system. My friend did an illegal something, and she's like, I did a face. The reason why I started this podcast because I was doing a lot of not FaceTime. What do you call it? I went live a lot, and I kept giving real life tips like, hey, do this if this happens. And people were like, oh my God, that worked. And I was like,
Okay.
It worked for me. Why wouldn't it work for you? So I have literally, when I was going through a divorce in 2017, I got pulled over 7 times. Ask me how many tickets I got.
Better question is, why was you pulled over
Don't
7
worry
times?
about it. Okay, sometimes my license was, not license, my expired plates.
What? Okay.
My,
Wait. Time
I
out.
live in
Time out.
Novi.
Time
I was
out.
black on a Friday.
Time out. How do you ride on expired tags?
Because
I have never in my life understood
listen, don't
how
judge
that
me.
happens.
Judge your mama. Let me tell
Hold
you.
on, wait a
why.
minute.
I'm about to tell you why.
Wait a minute. My mama ain't got nothing to do with this. Why you bringing my mama up into this? Now, there are two things in this world that I will cut people about. I will cut
You are
you
such a
about
mama's
talking.
boy.
I look. My mama ain't done nothing to you. Why you bringing my mama into this? That's why your mic just broke. Talk about my mama.
Okay,
See?
I'm sorry.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
That's what I tell people. Okay, this is why. I'm gonna tell you why. When you're going through a divorce, my divorce was not final until February. My birthday was in January.
Okay.
Both me and my ex were on my car. I could not renew my tags until my stuff was final because I did not want the car to be in his name. He would not sign off until we were divorced. Therefore, I had to be awarded. The car had to be awarded to me. So it was complicated.
Okay, that's an extenuating circumstance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm just asking a question.
But I
because
can't-
you ain't the only one. You had an extenuating circumstance, but there are people out here that just don't be paying attention.
Well, I don't do that either. But
know.
I'm just going to say this. It was a lot going on. When you go through a divorce, even up to 2 years later, you still are going through the residual, like trying to pick up the pieces financially, whatever. But I will say that there's a lot of things that have your affairs. There's a lot of names have to be taken off of this and put on here, but you can't do a lot of it, including insurance. That's the roughest one.
Like health insurance?
I can't get my own health insurance until I'm divorced.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like, I could go to the doctor. I will keep going to the doctor. It's so much. Life insurance.
Word to the wise, people.
Health insurance.
Word to the wise.
Car insurance. If you have a car in your name, whose name is on this, whose name is you're so intertwined and you don't realize it until you have to untangle all of it and separate everything. And the thing is, we didn't own a home. We just had 2 little cars and a condo. We didn't own the condo. We were renting. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids make it complicated. You have to wait. You have a waiting period when you have kids. You have 6 months. They want you to work it out. Yes. You can't just say, I'm divorcing you. Let's sign. No. They be like, okay, you can have a divorce in 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Come back and see if you still feel the same way. I've been feeling this for 7 years. You go keep me in jail, and then you go and you get remorseful, and then you go in. And you be like, I don't want to get divorced. Let's just work it out. They be like, no, I don't want to. And then you stop the divorce, and you just wasted a lot of money from your attorneys. And then you got to do it again.
I think one of the great musicians of the world
time.
said it best. It's cheaper to keep her.
No. No. My thing
I
is,
really don't think that. That's
I
not
think
my,
this
that's
whole
not my
thing,
philosophy.
I would really love to have group therapy with people who have been divorced, who are even single to this day. I think those are the people who should be doing, what do you call it? Counseling, marital counseling? Because marital counseling does not work.
But, I mean, you gotta look at, and not, when you're thinking about divorce, what are the reasons for the divorce?
It's so many reasons.
I mean, I know there are a lot of reasons,
You
but
married for the wrong reason. That's
exactly.
the reason.
If you marry for the wrong reason, then
Sometimes
at what point do you realize what role you played in the dysfunction of the marriage? And I'm not saying
we can all take responsibility, but however, 2 people have to want to work on it, and if 2 people don't,
but if
you thought you married brown, but you got black ain't gonna turn into brown.
But then why did you marry brown if you wanted black?
No, I married brown, but I wanted black. Sometimes.
Why did you why did you marry black?
Because he showed me, he had a mask and it was black. When I met you, it was black. But now you done turned into, you took the mask off like Future.
Okay.
Yeah, that mask came off.
So then my question to you would be, what did you not do to expose the blackness through the brown, or the brownness through the black?
I think, like, even for your position, is just my advice. We get in this, like, we do everything right. We go to school, we go through this, we get this degree, we buy the house, we do our blah, 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 right?
Correct.
And that all is tangible and it's controllable, and it's like, if I put in this amount of work and this amount of time, I'm going to get this degree. You tend to apply that to relationships. I put in this amount of time, I do this, he's going to reciprocate this. No, that's not how this works. He doesn't think like you. She doesn't think like you. You don't come from the same families. There's a lot of things that are factors into it. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm pregnant. We got to get married. We got to. We're starting a family. And he was like, oh, yeah, I was going to marry you anyway. Let's do it. And wait a minute.
Okay.
We ain't equally yoked, though.
Okay.
You never been to a church in your life.
But then that goes to the question then again. If you consistently go to church and then you partner yourself with somebody who does not do the same thing.
I brought him with me.
You brought him with you.
Yes.
Okay.
And he answered the altar call.
Okay.
And then he played in the basketball league.
At the church, but that's it.
He came to church with me every Sunday.
Okay.
And him and the pastor was like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then.
And he had a prayer life.
Okay.
Okay,
Well.
so we on our way. So what's the problem? And he came to Dentistry by Trinity.
He sure did. He sure did. I mean, but I'm saying at the end of the day, sometimes when we get caught up with, being infatuated or whatever, we see something that we want.
Yes.
And,
We see
it kind of goes
potential.
back to what we talked about the other week.
Yeah.
Is marriage like the prize for women at the end of a relationship? Like, I've been with you for X amount of years.
Is it a prize?
I should be married to you because we've been together for so long. And that's the end all be all. Like at the end of this, because we've been together for so long, I deserve to be married. And that's the end game. I know.
Well,
I know that
I
that's
can't
probably
say that.
not the same. Not.
In my situation is not the same because we weren't together that long. Like it wasn't
Okay.
like 5 years, 6 years, 17. No, it was 2 years, and we had went through so much in that 2 years.
What
that it
I'm
was kinda
saying,
like,
though.
you have my back. I'm gonna have your back.
Okay.
We're gonna do this for life.
But what I'm saying though is, when we're caught up with somebody, when we're just, you start to look past those red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And and a lot of times people think they can change somebody else. So it's like, oh, this might not be a problem right now, but I can probably get them to change after a while.
I don't think it was about me changing anybody.
I'm not
No,
talking
I'm
about
just saying,
you.
no,
I'm just
I know.
saying.
You're
I'm just saying in
but
general when you
in
think
my
about marriage.
situation, I wouldn't say I was trying to change anybody. I definitely wanted to help him enhance his life.
But
if
see,
he was,
but not time out. When you say that, that's you're not saying to me as a man listening at you say that, you want to change him.
Oh. Okay.
You wanna help him advance and get to this level wherever he is. He ain't about what he's supposed to be doing, so I'm gonna make him get up here.
Well,
And it's worded differently because you don't want to make it. I shouldn't say you personally, but people don't want it to sound like I'm just not gonna flat out tell you I'm gonna change you. I'm gonna make you stop doing. But you just have to. I'm gonna encourage you to do this. I'm gonna encourage you.
Okay, let me tell you where we were. I was an RN. I was a nurse at that time. Had been a nurse for some years, and we met while I was doing my master's at Wayne.
Right.
And he didn't have a degree. He was working on his bachelor's.
Okay.
And my thing was, okay, you're going in that field, but why? What is your plans? Are you going to? Well, I mean, what are you going to do with that degree? Like, what are the job prospects and
Okay.
what do you plan on doing that? And he was just like, oh, I want to be this. And I was like,
Okay.
how much do they make? Are there jobs in that market right now? Where are you going to work specifically? Where are you going to apply? He didn't know any of that because he's the first one to graduate from college from his family.
Okay.
But the thing is,
So
you can't get a degree in basket weaving and think that that's good enough because you want to be the first one to graduate, that's an accomplishment and it's great to be the first to graduate in your family. However, how are you going to raise a family and where are you going to work? And what are you going to do with that degree? That's just a piece of paper.
But see, that's it. And I'm looking critically at it on the outside, not being a part of the whole situation. But you've got somebody who's extremely motivated, extremely driven, who is understanding the mold and the path that they're on for their career, and you get matched up with somebody who is a little more lackadaisical, laissez-faire about what they're doing and how they're doing
that. Then
I'm just,
I
yeah.
didn't.
I'm,
And-
sure,
and here's what-
I'm not saying. I'm
my
just saying.
thing is, I tend not to judge.
But
and
that-
not
but
to
let
put
me
a
finish- let me
standard.
finish my
Okay,
point.
My bad.
That's what I'm saying about looking at the red flags.
Mm-hmm.
When you're, a lot of times when you're caught up with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you're not looking at I'm driven, I'm going this way, and this person's, not necessarily matching up with what I'm looking for.
That was
but
in
they
my
meet
20s.
they meet a majority of the things that I desire in a person. But some of the major things that you don't realize are major at that point,
I'm gonna tell
they're
you.
not. They're masked by everything else.
I'm gonna tell you, those standards literally went out the window. Because here's the thing.
So
my
then,
standards.
so then, what you're saying is you lowered your standards and married somebody beneath what your expectations were,
Yes.
and now you're mad.
I'm
that
not
you did
mad.
that.
I'm
No,
not mad.
You're not. No, you're
Ain't
mad.
nobody mad.
You're mad that you did it because now you've ended up in a situation that you never thought you'd find yourself in.
I'm mad at the situation now. Yes.
Okay.
I'm upset about how it's going down, but it is what it is. And
Right.
right now it's about the children. However, I know what I did. I won't make that mistake again.
Okay.
And my situation was a little bit different. I didn't just I'm just going to lower my standards because he's cute. No, I was sick. So all the plans and the ambitions I had, I ended up in my last, I won't even say that, 6 months of school, I ended up having a tumor.
Oh wow.
A bone tumor, and I couldn't walk. Now, I'm going from traveling on a basketball team. I'm a college athlete. I was on the track team, rowing team at Eastern. I go to Wayne State. I'm playing with the men, and then one day I just couldn't walk. Couldn't walk. And guess who was there? Him. This guy, I just met him 3 months ago, and he has my back. He's like, don't worry about nothing. I'm going to make sure you have food. I'm going to make sure you have... I'm like, you can't afford my bills. Oh, I was up here.
Mm-hmm.
So my standards was not low. And I was like, you can't afford my bills. And he was like, challenge accepted. And he worked his butt off. And I was like, wow. So I technically had what you call the Superman syndrome. I owed him, like if somebody saves your life.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a bad place. I couldn't walk. I couldn't drive. I couldn't go to the bathroom on my own. I couldn't do anything. And I'm a nurse. So that changed the whole situation. So now I'm like, he stayed through all of that, and I thought he was gonna any day now he's gonna leave. So he had my back more than my family had.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I owe him whatever. I owe him the minimum I could do was marry this man, cause I owe him, and that's what I did.
But see,
And I was like, life is short. It's not about these degrees. It's not about going to school and accomplishing this and getting this money and getting this 6 figures and doing blah, 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 and living in Royal Oak with a loft. Now it's about, I want a family. And this guy had my back, and nobody's ever done this for me. And I have plenty of friends. I'm homecoming queen at Eastern or whatever on the court. I'm in the step show. I ain't even a sorority girl. I'm not. A sorority sister? What you call them? I'm sorry.
I mean, you saying it right, but I'm like, how you gonna be in a step show and you ain't in?
Exactly. I could dance, so I would be in the sororities. We won Sigma Gamma Rho. Shout out to y'all, Eastern Michigan. So I was in the Sigma. And we won, and I did a lot of things, and I was in nursing program at the time. But all that stuff stopped me in my tracks. That was the most traumatic thing that had ever happened to me, and I didn't have control over it. But this was a person who supported me through a very dark time where I didn't know if I'm going to die from cancer or not.
Okay. Let me ask you this. And this is going to be, this may be a little, I don't want to say difficult, but whatever. I'm just going to ask the question. Did you pray about the situation before you?
I had prayed. You know what? I was fasting and praying for a husband for 3 years prior to meeting him. And then I was just like, this is it. God, you done answered it. Now did God tell you that was your one, or did you just say because he's filled in the gap and did this that you know what? I'm gonna tell you
he's
this.
the one I'm gonna choose?
Do you know what a doppelganger is?
Yeah, I know what a doppelganger is.
He was a doppelganger.
Okay. A doppelganger for who?
Somebody
Inquiring minds want to know.
They know who each other are. They've seen each other, and they're like, "Oh my God, yes."
I don't know.
Well, they look like twins. Basically, what a doppelganger is, they're not related, but they look exactly alike.
Okay, who are we talking about? Who's his doppelganger?
Oh, he has a doppelganger.
Okay.
He knows.
Who's your doppelganger?
Me? Rudy Huxtable. What? Little Rudy. Not Chingy Rudy.
Wow. Yeah. That's funny.
And then every time I see people, they be like, I see you somewhere. I was like, the Cosby Show. They be like, oh my God, yes. Then I get Kenya Moore when my hair is like real straight and I have a middle part. They're like, oh my God, you look like Kenya. No, I don't.
Wow, that's funny.
And my kids,
Rudy,
my little babies, they look just
Keisha
like.
Knight Pulliam.
Yeah.
I think that's her name. Yes.
Yeah,
Funny,
they look
you know
just
what?
like her.
Funny story.
And he looks like Bud. If you see my wedding video, they be like, it is so funny.
Rudy and Bud together
finally
at last. Wow.
And I was like, y'all got jokes, huh? That's funny.
That is funny. That is really funny.
But the doppelganger is like more my speed. We are both ambitious. We're both super athletic.
Okay.
But the doppelganger wasn't ready, and he left. And then here comes ex-husband, right on time.
Okay.
So that's what happened, and that's why. Why did I get married? That's why I got married.
Okay.
And that's why I'm divorced. And yeah. And then the doppelganger
because you married the fake.
I did. I don't know if it's a fake because now the doppelganger's married, and I'm out here, and that's what he's like.
Out here in these streets, homie.
It's so ironic. You're so lonely. I was like, I'm lonely.
Well, I don't know who you think you're talking to.
Ain't nobody lonely. I'm hiding.
Most people say my doppelganger is Tay Diggs, which is hilarious to me.
Does he look like Tay Diggs? Do you know who Tay Diggs is? She like, no, I don't recall.
Most people I don't know. I don't know why, but I got that all throughout high school and college. I got throughout all through high school and college.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit on this side.
I have a picture. Well, not a picture. I'm sorry. The Jet magazine, which in every black household you have to have Jet magazine.
Jet magazine.
I do. I don't know where they came from either. This is hilarious.
It's the white teeth and the chocolate skin.
Yeah,
that's it.
And the bald head.
Oh yeah, that part.
I don't disagree. But yeah,
is that what you're gonna be for Halloween?
No, I'm gonna be me. I don't celebrate Halloween.
I know you was gonna say that. Oh, okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna be Rudy Huxtable.
Go ahead, Rudy. Be
I need to find my bud.
Funny story about that. About do not.
She went to Spelman, didn't
she did go to Spelman. She was there around the same time I was at Morehouse.
Okay.
And the one thing I said, do not ever call her Rudy, because that is not her name. I tell you, look, that's but that's real, because that is a character, that her name is Keisha. So that's what you call it. Anyway, but funny story. I was late for class one day, and I was driving in excess of the speed limit.
Excess
of the speed limit,
so
I could get to. No, I didn't get pulled over, but our basketball gym. I was
your basketball gym
at Morehouse.
Your court.
Yeah, the
basketball court.
Where the gym where Morehouse
y'all got
played.
Different kind of gyms or something. That don't even. I never heard nobody say
it's
basketball.
where Morehouse basketball team played.
I never heard anybody say basketball gym.
Well, basketball gym, basketball court, whatever, the stadium, the arena, Forbes Arena. Anyway, so I was pulling in to go. I was trying to get to a park, and I came around the corner. I mean, I was whipping it around the corner.
Why was you so late?
Cause I lived off campus and I woke up late, whatever. Anyway, so I was speeding around the corner, and Keisha happened to be walking across the street,
Rudy?
and I almost ran her clean over. I was laughing because this may be wrong.
That's why you laughed so hard when I said I was.
No, I laughed so hard because I was like, that's funny. Because I had growing up, I had a crush on Rudy in the Cosby Show, Rudy. So I didn't really know. So anyway, that was funny, but it was funny that I almost ran her over. I was like, ooh,
That's not funny.
if I would have hit her, that would have been a bad day. Y'all would have been like, it's a dang shame what happened to Dr. Gordon.
I hope you had
He ain't even
insurance.
get to make it to be in Dr. Gordon.
Whoops,
So,
that's real.
Shout out to Keisha if you're out there. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
I'm gonna tag her.
Bless you. Bless you.
I am.
Okay.
Okay, can we take a break? I need a break.
You want to take a break?
I need a break.
All right, people. We're going to take a quick break.
We'll be back
And
in
we'll
like
be back.
10 minutes or
Yes.
so.
All right. Sit tight.
Michael Jackson?
We are back.
All right. So I want to show you something that well, I don't know if I can show you. I guess I can. This actually came from what do you call it? A compound pharmacy. I don't know what pharmacy it was. I would have to get you the information because I was at some, what do you call it? Conference.
Uh-huh.
And they gave me this thing, and I thought it was absolutely awesome
Okay.
because everybody needs to have one.
You most certainly do need to have one. So,
What are we talking about?
welcome back, people. I know we got way off track from our initial. We were talking about the opioid crisis and things that you can all think about. Excuse me. When it comes to the opioid crisis, a lot of people. That was my knee, and I hit the entire table. Yeah, that hurt. I'm gonna need an opioid now because I'm in pain. But sorry, the opioid crisis is real. A lot of time, things have been overprescribed for years and years, and now it's finally come to an issue where, you've got people who are overdosing, and it's
Is the
unfortunate.
answer Narcan though?
I mean, is the answer Narcan?
Over the counter.
Over the counter? I mean, I think it's good that they have options for people, because who knows, parents. It's really, 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 really important that you monitor those drugs that you bring into the house, prescription drugs. It's really important that you monitor and making sure that you inform your medical practitioners what medications you're taking so that they're not over-prescribing you certain things, like you're not mixing Valium and Norco or something like that too.
But also, they need to know that we have a system that's set up that we can look it up.
Absolutely.
So you won't even be able to feel. So if you got a Valium over here downtown, and then you try to go to Royal Oak and go get you Tylenol with codeine, they're not going to feel it because that's an interaction. Or you can't feel. You can only get 30-day supply of any drug.
Correct.
But the problem was, which we were going to debate tonight, amongst dental, medical professionals, pharmacy, and surgery, who started this opioid crisis?
You know what? I don't think you can really say who started it.
They say
because
dental did.
I don't think not
and
necessarily
surgery.
dental. Probably I would maybe surgery, or at the end of the day, people who go in and have major surgery, they get morphine drips and fentanyl and stuff like that. So at the hospital, you have access to more, painkillers, stronger painkillers than you do at a medical office or whatnot.
What y'all giving out? Vicodins? Are y'all still giving out Vicodins?
Vicodin is no longer on the market, so now it's Norco, which is what a
and
lot of
Tylenol
people
3?
give, and Tylenol 3.
Y'all still giving that out like candy? Because I could just
No,
go in
it's
there
not.
and be like,
But see,
my tooth hurt.
And that's the thing, when you blame it on the dentist, but a lot of times you come in for, if you do an extraction, if I do a difficult extraction, like on a wisdom tooth or something, I'm only giving you 10 to 15 Vicodin or Norcos. That's enough for about 3 days.
And the thing is what we have to realize, because I'm primary care, so they're going to be coming to me. I just got this. I just had surgery. I need more of X, Y, and Z.
And that's the problem, is when practitioners allow their patients to dictate what they want. And
It's
I'm not saying
difficult though.
it is difficult, and that's the thing that I've had to change that in my prescribing of medication, because as a trained professional, I know, when you come in, and I don't mean to sound rude or mean, but when you come in for a toothache, 9 times out of 10, if it's an abscess, I can give you all the painkillers in the world, and it's not going to kill that abscess. What's going to kill that abscess, not even kill it, but subside your pain, is the antibiotic.
By the
And
time
people
you got
don't-
an abscess, you ain't got no pain. Okay.
Sometimes you don't have pain with it, but at the end of the day, I'm trained to understand and know what to do. You have people who get pissed off because I don't, this Motrin is not going to work for me. I need
Yes, it
something
will.
stronger than that. And it's like, no, you need to take the antibiotic. It's going to take a day or so for that to kick in. And then, take your Motrin, 600 or 800 milligrams every 4 to 6 hours, however it's prescribed. And that's going to subside your pain. But people don't want to believe that.
Yes.
And
I
then
know.
that's when you start
want
having
an
the crisis
option.
where they
Yeah.
go from dentist to dentist to dentist to dentist and start getting prescriptions filled, or they'll go to a pain clinic where they prescribe you 90 pills.
But the thing is, you have to get a referral to get to the pain clinic. They will come to primary care
True.
first and say, they doctor shop. And we get thrown under the bus that we are not treating your pain, and we are.
Right.
And the thing is, it's like, listen, you had surgery. Like, for instance, I had patients that come in that have 20-year-old kids saying they have back pain, females. I got back pain from childbirth to this day, and I need my Vicodin because my back still hurts. And I said, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. Have you had an MRI? Nope. Have you had a CAT scan? Nope. How about an X-ray?
CB2, what's going on?
You ain't even worked up this issue in your back. We're going to start there. In 20 years, you haven't been to see a chiropractor, nobody. They don't even want that part. They say they refuse it, and they will go to another practitioner
Exactly.
or
But
doctor.
that's where you have to, it's not.
I don't have no problems with that.
I'm not saying you have problems with it, but as a practitioner, that's where you kind of gotta stand your ground.
We do.
Because sometimes you want patients to get pissed off and then leave your office or whatnot.
Yes.
And then this is the thing. This is the one thing that I really hate about social media and I hate about the internet is that patients can come into my office, talk to me all kinds of sideways, and when they don't get whatever it is that they want, they'll go on and write the most nastiest review.
No, you didn't.
About me as a practitioner or any office, knowing that there's no backlash. Like I can't, as a practitioner, you come and tell me I'm the worst dentist ever because I didn't do anything for your child and blah, 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 or whatever it may be. But I can't go back on and refute that because of the HIPAA violation.
You can't?
No. I can call the patient.
Yeah.
But I cannot go back online and say, well, look, this is what it really was. You came into my office. You had a full blown. No, you can't respond to that type of stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, and it's unfortunate because a
Well,
lot
at
of
least you
doctors
ain't had no patients
are
report to
getting
your license.
smeared
Yeah, they
because of things like this, and it's not totally fair. But
and we are in an information age where people read that. I had
people don't care
not come to me in my office
because of what they read on the internet.
They read a long, and this was a. Let me tell you something. I done been dragged on the internet, and let me tell you, it wasn't even by a patient.
You got people that just write. Yeah.
And other women, black women. I'm black. We have haters. And they're not even medical providers. They just did it because they didn't like me.
Exactly. And that's
point blank.
And that's the thing. That's the biggest issue that you're gonna have. But again, sticking with coming back to the opioid issue though, a lot of times, it's hard for a practitioner, for me personally, it was hard for me to stand on my morals and just be like, look, I have stopped prescribing Vicodin.
Really?
And Norco. Because a lot of things that I do now as a prosthodontist, I'm not doing a lot of, if I do a couple implants or something, I might do some Tylenol 3, maybe 10 Tylenol 3 or something like that just to get patients, to rest for a day or so. But at the end of the day, Motrin, Advil, something like that, that's pretty much all I'm going to, and an antibiotic, that's pretty much all I'm going to prescribe at this stage because I'm not doing a great deal of surgical extractions and all these other, crazy foolishness. And not saying that, that's not dumb, but, you got patients that come in that are already hooked on fentanyl and all these other, extremely strong painkillers, and they tell you, Tylenol 3 doesn't work for me and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, most dentists, I understand there's some people that have extenuating circumstances where they've either been on pain medications for long term, so their the receptors and their tolerance is a little bit different. But for the everyday individual, you can't. There's no you. There. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you know.
Do you guys look up maps?
You do not. Do you look up maps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, you have access to maps?
We do have access to maps.
Do you have time to look those patients up before you prescribe?
Sometimes you do. But at the end of the day, like I said, for what you're
it's
doing,
a
for
requirement
what you're
now
doing,
for us.
for what we're doing, a lot. Unless, like I said, unless I'm an oral surgeon, unless I'm doing some major surgical procedures, I don't need.
No,
I don't need to.
I mean, I came to you. I was one of your patients, and I never got a narcotic from you. And let me tell you something. I will take it if I need it, but I didn't even have. I had
Most people
2
don't-
C-sections, and I ain't had no narcotics.
Yeah, most people don't need it. They want it because
Just in case.
just to get high.
But here's the thing. We know. Well, the antidote. Let's talk about the antidote.
What's
real
up,
quick.
Jana Banana?
Jana Banana.
My bad. That's my homie. Janae, me and Janae were in dental school together. That's my homie right there.
Okay. So the antidote, as we know, is Narcan.
Narcan.
Right?
Yep.
And Narcan is now over the counter.
Okay.
You do not need a prescription. A lot of primary cares that are on high dose, if you're on high dose equivalent, there's equivalencies to morphine of narcotics, whether it's Vicodin or Norco. Whatever the drug is, they measure it as its equivalence to morphine. So what happens is that instead of just prescribing the opioid,
Correct.
they are also prescribing Narcan. Now, this here is a trainer that I got from a conference, which I think is amazing. Most Narcan comes in the nasal spray. So if you go on my page and you
What's up, cuz?
see all of the videos that I posted a lot of videos where you see people actively overdosing.
Yeah.
A lot of the police who aren't even trained to even stop people like conflict resolution, but yet they got Narcan. I guess they could do our job, whatever. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. If you don't have any narcotics in your system, this is not going to hurt anything. However, I give you a disclaimer. If you give this Narcan, somebody's actively snoring, they passed out in a car, you are going to save their life, yes. However, they're going through an active detox in that detox plan that you go through for 90 days in a place, slowly with drugs.
Rehab.
Rehab is going to happen in 2 seconds. And they're going to be pissed off. You watch these videos on Facebook and they wake up like, where am I? You just woke me up from a slumber. No, they come out swinging. I want to say the S word. Boo-booing.
Oh, wow.
It reverses everything. And they're in pain. Whatever that pain may be, emotional, whatever.
Oh, wow.
Addictive. And guess what? They're pissed and they're going to rip out IVs and they're running out to the crack house. Now, this thing I really like. I will say that. You will save, these crackheads, whoever you reversing, people who overdose.
People who are overdosing
and
on
it could be accidental.
Yep.
Kids, I have some pictures or videos of 11 years old overdosing.
But see, how are they getting access to this stuff?
They're getting access through their parents' cabinet. Because kids now have parties. The parties are, you're at your mama's house, get whatever your mama got in her cabinet and bring it. Oh, I got some stuff over here. My grandma got some stuff. I'm bringing that. And they pour it in a bucket. And we take a handful. We lit. Whatever happens, just happens.
No. See,
that's what's happening.
That's the responsibility of the parents to make sure that they're those narcotics.
What you
are
gonna
out
do?
of the
Put
reach
it in
of
a
their
lock
parents.
cabinet?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, come on. I mean, at some point, you have to understand. You have to be responsible for stuff. Some people want to be the cool parents, and you're having pain. Take this, and it's gonna be okay.
No, I don't think it's just that.
That's how it starts.
In my kitchen, my vitamins are all there, including my prescription.
Vitamins.
Yes,
well,
but
why do you have anything prescription wise? I understand for convenience.
I don't have nothing really prescribed like that. I might have an antibiotic or a water pill or something like that. I usually try to put that at my bedside table so I don't forget to take it. But now I have my kids taking chewable vitamins, and I started to think about it like, dang, I can't put this with my stuff because I don't want them to get it twisted. Don't accidentally touch my stuff.
They probably will get it confused.
No.
They're children.
I'm going to move theirs, and theirs is going to be in the bathroom. So after you brush your teeth, you're going to take your chewable vitamin. It's right here. You don't touch mommy's stuff. Mommy's stuff is up on the top shelf. However, when you're dealing with a high schooler, a middle schooler, they know how to get into your stuff. You can't stop that from happening. Who has a locked medicine cabinet in their house? Come on now. I don't.
You should.
Nobody. Listen, I'm
look.
talking to you're a non-parent. We're being realistic. Nobody has a locked medicine cabinet in their house.
Why?
That's not standard on any apartment. No.
Okay, I understand it's not standard on any apartment, but
I don't have narcotics in my house either.
But even
I don't use
still,
narcotics.
you know, if you have Valium, you have any of those, you know, any
lock
CNS
your
depressants,
liquor up when you're at
Xanax.
home?
Do I lock my liquor up when I'm at home? No.
Exactly.
But parents
that's
should.
also a drug.
I don't disagree. I'm
Okay.
saying parents need to be more responsible. Yes. Is it an extra step? Is it inconvenient as hell? Yes, it is. But at the end of the day, if I'm really about valuing my child's life and making sure that they stay out, you know, keep their asses out of trouble.
But you can't stop
you
them.
can't-
If they're with their friends, you need to be able to teach them right from wrong.
Look, as a
can
parent,
go over
but
their
see,
friend's house and
but
their
see,
friend has more freedom.
This goes back to what I was talking about earlier, raising a generation of punks. If I had ever went in my mama's cabinet and took any of her medicine, you best believe I was getting towed up, beat out the frame.
These kids
and
don't care
at the
nothing
end
about
of the
that.
day, but nowadays, yeah, you call CPS. And
Yes.
my mother
You're
looked at me
right.
funny. Oh, and all that. Not you know, now parents can't even discipline their children to make. Because at the end of the day, back in the day,
Right.
you talk to you. I hear some of the way these kids talk to their parents nowadays.
I don't play
Man,
that.
I would not have any teeth if I ever talked to my mother the way I hear some
Should
of
be
these
your
children.
dentist.
My dentist? No, I wouldn't
your
even need. I wouldn't
prosthodontist?
need a dentist.
You need a prosthodontist.
I wouldn't even need a prosthodontist because every time I say something, I'm getting my teeth knocked out.
Oops.
So
You
at the
can't
end of the
do
day,
that right now. No.
but at the end of the day, you know, parents really, really, really need to be way more responsible and not as lackadaisical thinking, oh, my child would never do anything like that. Yeah, that's what you think. And your child is the main one that's supplying everybody with all your goodies because you look up, because you don't even know how many you've taken. You don't remember how much, I got a 30-day supply of this foolishness. Why do I don't know if I've taken this 30 days in a row, but I can't remember, but whatever.
I have to play devil's advocate because what I found when I was coaching in the high schools or whatever, I started coaching, 2006, on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found was the stands were empty. Why? Because you have a lot more single parent families and they have to work. They can't be in the stands at 4:00 to cheer their kids on. So you can't fault parents for trying to make a living and raise their kids. However,
who's faulting them for doing that?
nobody's faulting him. But I want, at the same time, you have to be safe. I have friends that have gotten pulled over. So just like you get pulled over under the influence of alcohol, if you're in the possession of a Schedule 2 or 1, oh, God forbid, back in the day when marijuana was illegal, that's Schedule 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cocaine, God forbid you have that. Anything, ecstasy, Vicodin, Tylenol 3s, even if your name is on the bottle, you are under the influence. I've had to write letters. One young man was driving with his father in the car, out of state. A pill dropped, his father dropped a tramadol. It's tramadol, which ain't that, it's not that big of a deal. But it's a narcotic, nonetheless, synthetic. He dropped one pill in his son's car. His son's like, don't worry about it. Dad got arthritis. He can't grip it, whatever. So he takes another pill, not a big deal. Drops dad off in Michigan, heads back home, wherever that was. I don't know where he was going, but he got stopped in Ohio. Ohio goes through his car because he's black on a Friday or whatever. And they go through his car, and guess what? They find a tramadol.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, sir, this is my dad's. He dropped it. It's not mine, but he has a script. He's being treated for pain. I don't care. He went to jail. He went to jail that night. I had to write a letter because I prescribed the tramadol to his father. His father's my patient. I had to write a letter on behalf of this young man who I did not know, which was just his son, who did not live in the state, to rectify. He spent over 3 days in jail for a medication that was not his. So this can not just happen with your father, your cousin, your sister, your brother. This can happen with your friend. Your friend could be intoxicated. You're being a great Samaritan and trying to drop them off. Not only are they intoxicated, they got some pills in their purse, and they drop off. And you just the Christian person that you are, the professional that you are, just trying to get them home. And then later on, a month, a week, a day, you get pulled over and they go through your car. And guess what? Oops, here's a tramadol.
Yeah, well,
I have a problem with that.
I'm going to make them.
And he's being prosecuted.
Make him get a search warrant.
Well, you can't. You can't. He was in the jail. He was already in the jail. I had to get him out. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that type of situation. But at the end of the day, I think that's way excessive.
That's what it is.
But then that goes to ignorance on behalf of the law enforcement. I hate to say it. I love
that's why I
police
wanted
officers.
them
I love
bad
what they
boys
do.
to
I
be up in
respect
here.
each and every one of them. I pray that they, are able to return home safely. But if you're served, if you are charged to serve and protect, then you got to do your job. I'm not saying that some people are.
They don't give us the benefit of the doubt. I don't care what your degree is.
They have never given black people the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And to me that's it's insulting. I was getting ready to say something else because my blood pressure done went up real quick. But at the end of the day, it's insulting. But I'm not gonna go. We're okay. So you got the.
Oh yeah.
You got the Narcan.
Antidote. What's the antidote?
The antidote, and so you're gonna teach people how to use this if somebody is having an opioid overdose.
So obviously, if somebody's having an overdose, you're not gonna give them a pill.
Correct.
But you have other ways you can administer the medication. So this is the antidote, meaning the antidote is what's going to reverse the effects of that drug. So if it's a narcotic, meaning a Vicodin, a Tylenol with codeine, tramadol, I can't think of anything else, fentanyl, marijuana, morphine, all of that, Dilaudid. I don't know.
In the words of Tracy Morgan, heroin.
All of that. So this is a second route. So this is just a trainer of how to use it. So you would just. You are ready to use. Pull off red safety guard. Obviously, it tells you what to do.
Which is important.
Black end against outer thigh. Then press firmly and hold in place for 5 I'm just gonna put it on my hand. I don't know if that'll work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Injection complete. So.
And just like that, you've saved a life.
Reused for training purposes. So. Okay. It tells you everything. And I think this is an amazing product because
absolutely
you don't need to add any needles. It's already ready to go.
So what does that cost?
You asking too many questions, brother. I don't know. I didn't do all that kind of research because right now, here's where I'm upset.
Why are you upset?
The standard is what policemen and I don't know what I wanted an EMT today, but next time we're gonna have an EMT. Most of the people who are first responders, medical, EMTs, ambulance, police, they're using the nasal spray, which kind of looks similar to this, but you sprayed up each nostril. Now that's good if you find somebody ODing and they're snoring, like obviously they're breathing. Now,
but how can you tell that they're ODing based on the fact that they're snoring?
You try to wake them up, and you are let me tell you, look at the videos on my page. There is no way. Okay, now you have some differentials. I do have some differentials. Okay. If I roll up on a car, for instance, there's one woman on my page that literally was on the side of the road, 2 tires like. I was like, oh my God, this is a medical emergency. Both of her 2 tires on the left side were shredded. She's sitting on the side of the road. Her door is half open. Her legs are propped up on the top of the door. It's a Mustang, brand new, beautiful white Mustang. Her legs are on the door with the windows down. Her phone is in here like this. She's like this with her door open on the side of the road, snoring.
Was it hot? Okay.
And he did try to wake her up. Now, I was like, you could have gave her a sternal rub because I was like, you didn't try hard enough.
Yeah,
For me,
that sternal rub.
would have woke you up. But he was like, ma'am.
Well, some people are hard sleepers.
She is. Now, that's what I thought, too. I'm like, well, she could be in a diabetic coma. So you might need to start CPR. And I'm looking at her like, is she having a seizure? Maybe she's post-ictal. I'm like going through all this stuff like really quickly. Like, he ain't trying hard enough because he's laughing with some dude. And his dude is like, why don't you call an ambulance? He's like, yeah, why don't you call the ambulance? I'm like, why don't you turn off your phone? I would have been arguing with him because he was so busy filming her. And he was trying to wake her up. And when he moved the door, her feet fell. And I was like, that should have woke her up. If nothing else woke her up, because he shook her, didn't wake her up. And I mean, she had a skirt on. And I was like, oh my God. This man, and she could have got, it was easy. She could have definitely got robbed. He could have took that car.
Yeah.
On flats and everything. And he could have moved her from the car, put her on the sidewalk, and she wouldn't have woke up. You could obviously tell. And she was snoring. And I went through all the comments. I'm like, I got to know what happened. Because please tell me she did not die because this man was laughing on camera and wouldn't stop recording to call the police or to call the ambulance. He asked somebody else to do it.
That's just dumb.
Ridiculous. And she came on there and she commented and was like, I took my drugs.
Sorry.
I took my drugs and my drugs are kind of powerful and I fell asleep. No, that's an issue. And there could have been an interaction. I don't know. And you'll see a pattern. Every OD that I posted, there was 3 people in a car. The problem is this. People are getting drugs off the street. They're sharing drugs. Do you still got them Vicodins, them Norcos when you got your tooth pulled? I do. Can I get the rest of them? Because I got a toothache too. Okay. But what you don't know is what you're taking. I've had incidences where I
have had to yell at people that I know very well.
I can't stand
about
it.
That. Taking antibiotics.
It's dangerous.
Taking drugs, whatever somebody else got. And, people have to stop doing that.
Stop.
People have to stop doing that because some people are if they hardcore and they got some randomness or they got, higher prescription dosage.
You don't know.
You don't know what it is. You don't know. This works for me to go to sleep. Your ass be asleep for 5 days.
Okay, speaking of that, Xanax is not a sleeping pill. Okay?
Okay, exactly.
They be like, I got to take my sleeping pill, Xanax. No, it's not a sleeping pill.
Ativan.
That ain't a sleeping pill either.
I know it ain't no sleeping pill, but that's people say.
I can't stand it. I can't. Okay, listen, get it together, people. Okay, so Narcan, I want you guys to go watch that. So we're going to go more in depth because this is a very complicated issue. And there's a lot of things. So there are some resources we want to give you. If you do have extra prescription drugs that you're not going to use and you want to do the right thing, there's always every year there's a drug take back. And it's announced. I usually put it on my page. It's on, I know Oak Park does it. A lot of different places. I went into the police station in, I want to say Dearborn Heights. And there was like a big, like a mailbox kind of thing. You can actually throw your old drugs in there.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's not liquid. There's certain stipulations of what you cannot put in there. I think you can put inhalers or something. You put a lot of stuff in there. So if you want to get rid of those drugs safely, put them in there. Do not flush them down the toilet. That's another no-no. And don't give them to your grandma or your grandma's sister.
Or your kids.
Please don't give it to your kids, because people be saving them and be like, I'll just say this because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go to the dentist because my insurance ain't about nothing. I'm gonna just wait because Dr. Gordon don't be giving no discounts.
At the end of the day, most dental practitioners nowadays are not prescribing opioids anymore.
So quit trying it
unless it's absolutely necessary. And if you do want an opioid, you will have a ton of paperwork to fill out and a whole bunch of questionnaires, understanding that what you're getting what you're,
The
what you're
last
being
time you took
prescribed,
it.
why you're being prescribed it, that you
Who's your
understand the
doctor?
health risks and the extreme addictiveness of it. So yeah, you're gonna have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork, and so don't be mad when you come into the dental office, especially my office, asking for that, and you get hit with 35 pieces of paper that you got to read, sign, date, and put your blood seal on it. So anyway, we hope you all have been wonderfully informed. I know there's a lot more that's going on with the opioid crisis.
This is to be continued.
This is definitely to be continued because a lot of time, again, you've got pharmacists that are able to catch things, and going from multiple prescriber to multiple prescriber, that is the easiest way to get yourself put on the DEA hit list. Because actually, I had that happen to me early on in my career. I had a lady that was shopping for actually for Vicodin, and legitimately she had a toothache. She had a big issue, so I gave her some. And I didn't give her many. It was probably like 10 because I wanted her to come back in to get the tooth extracted. I gave her some antibiotics so it will calm down, and then we'd be able to, get her comfortably and get the tooth out. But I filled that prescription out, and I'd be damned if 2 or 3 days later I got an email from the DEA.
Saying what?
An email and a letter.
What?
That said, you prescribed Vicodin on this date to this patient. Little did I know she went to 4 or 5 other offices that same day.
Oh!
Somebody gave her a 90-day prescription of it. Somebody gave it. She had
dentist gave her
not
another?
a dentist, but like a pain. Like she was going like the pain clinic.
Okay.
So she had multiple prescriptions from different practitioners.
On the same day.
On the same day for
You know
all
what she was
varying
doing?
We
We know what y'all be doing.
Exactly.
We know y'all be selling it.
All I'm saying
it
is
goes
this.
for $15 a pill. We know.
Even if you selling it, all I'm going to say is this. I got into dentistry to help people.
Period.
And this is how I want to make my life. If you want to put my
Period.
life and my job and my career in jeopardy, guess what? You can kick rocks. I don't need you
With
as a
no
patient.
shoes or socks on.
No shoes or socks on. I love that.
I hope you cut
But at the
all
end
your
of the day,
toes.
you just know how much trouble you can get your loved dentist or loved doctor into
They don't care.
by
They don't care
doing
about
this by doing this foolishness. So, you want to put on the sob story. I mean, and I'm not trying to be insensitive because I know there are a lot of people who have legitimate issues that, pain medication of that strength is necessary.
Yes.
But at the end of the day,
You know who they messing it up for?
they mess it up. They mess it up for everybody because at this stage, I tell everybody now, look, I hate to tell you, but you ain't getting no Vicodin from me.
I'm gonna tell you who they messing it up for. They're messing it up for the legitimate cancer patients.
Oh yeah.
Cancer patients, especially when they're newly diagnosed with cancer and they need pain medicines. We can't tell a cancer patient these days from a drug seeker.
That's real.
And it's sad because they actually need it. But at the end of the day, cancer pain does not count in the grand scheme of everything. The cancer patients need to be going to an oncologist.
Right.
And truly, really and truly, the oncologist needs to be managing their pain. Now, in some of the hospitals, oncologists do not prescribe pain medicine, which makes no sense to me.
But
because I don't treat cancer pain. You need to be going to a specialist. And you need to be worked up. If you have an issue with your back and it's been going on for forever and a day, get the MRI. Get the CAT scan. You're not going to get Vicodin until you get the answer. I'm sorry. But there's chiropractors. There's massage. There's acupuncture. There are options. Let's explore those options.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So until next week.
Until next week, we hope you all were wonderfully blessed by this banter and foolishness that we talk about that just comes to the top of our minds. Anyway, again, I'm Dr. Gordon, your boy BG. You can find me on Instagram at TrinityDDS. Follow me if you want to.
These are fake
appreciate
Tay Diggs.
the fake Tay Diggs. Wow.
With a shimmy, and he's a Kappa.
Shout out to my boy Tay Diggs. That's my cousin. My mom's.
Is it?
Yeah, my mom and his mom are sisters.
You a lie?
Hey,
Are you serious?
I've been running that since I was in high school.
You're such a liar. What
I'm
a
just
liar.
saying.
I believe you.
Hey, Tay, all I'm saying, Tay Diggs, if you ever come across this, man, if you ever need a stunt double or somebody to fill in for you, bro, I got you.
He don't
I
look that
got
much
you.
like
I got you. I mean, look, I can lose 15, 20 pounds. You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
you.
Only thing that I don't got is the tattoos that he got on his arms.
I didn't
Mine
know
look
he
a
had
little bit
tattoos.
different. So yeah. But
I'm
anyway,
Veronica, nurse practitioner Veronica. I am nurse practitioner VEE is my Instagram, and I'm VEE Shivachi, rhymes with Versace. Just find me on Facebook.
you better know that.
The Real Nurses of Detroit.
The Real Dentist of Detroit.
This is called The White Coat
Exam Room.
Podcast. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Holla.